my name is Sandra Nissim.
Hi, I'm Shayna Chen.
And today we will be demoing our app, React Music, which we created during our internship at Pivotal Software this past summer, 2017. So the goal of this project was to remake the Spring Music app, which is commonly used here at Pivotal.
And so for some of the goals, we have product goals and team goals. So for product goals, we wanted our application to be a Cloud Foundry starting app for new users. And so specifically, we wanted it to show off the Cloud Foundry services. We've focused on database services in particular, and also to show off Cloud Foundry's capabilities such as easy scalability and easy app deployment. And we also wanted to incorporate a lot of Pivotal products into our project, so we used Spring Boot for our backend, and we also used PUI components for our front end. And finally, we wanted to match the Spring Music features, and that included using multiple databases and having the capability to add, edit, or delete an album from the application.
So in terms of our personal goals, neither Shayna nor I had ever used Cloud Foundry, so we wanted to learn how to use this platform as a service. And we wanted to build a usable project. Both of us have taken computer science courses and we've done labs and whatnot, but we've never created an actual product that is used by the public. So that was a big goal for us. Additionally, both of us have a lot of back-end experience, but very limited front-end experience. We dabbled in it during the Girls Who Code program last summer, but we haven't pursued front-end as much as back-end, so we wanted to gain that experience as well. And we just wanted to learn this summer, and we did. We learned so much, but our goal was to learn new frameworks and libraries and languages, which we did all that with Java and Spring Boot and React, so it's been great. And we also wanted to experience being a pivot, what it's like to work at Pivotal, and really be immersed in the culture by using test-driven development and pair programming, extreme programming, and agile development. So, and how those are effective. Yes. So the structure of the application that we built, there's a front end which talks to a back end with HTTP requests, which in turn talks to a database, MySQL, in-memory, whatever it is, with an API.
And so to focus more specifically on the front end and back end, so we have a front end component that's written with a React library, and so that includes React components and a SCSS pipeline, and then that makes the REST request to the back end, which is written with a Spring Boot framework. And so that includes resources, repositories, controllers, and data configuration files.
So zooming out even further to the big picture, both of these apps are deployed onto Cloud Foundry, hosted by PWS, and the backend has a MySQL service bound to it on Cloud Foundry, which is what allows us to connect to those databases. So we're going to do a quick demo of the app right now. All right, so let's get started. To get started, we are going to,
Yeah, you want to make it a little bigger.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's make this a little bit bigger. All right, so we're going to get started by making a new directory in Documents. So we can call this Demo React Music. I'm going to go into this directory, and we are going to clone the repo for the back end. So we're going to go to, let's follow this URL, and we're going to get the repo link. All right. So, awesome. So now we have cloned React Music, and now we're going to get inside this repository. From here, we're going to go to the README to find this command, these two commands, which we're going to run this app locally. So we are just running a Gradle clean assemble, and then we're building a jar, and we need to specify the profile of the data source that we want to use. So just because this app has yet to be pushed to Cloud Foundry and does not have any data services bound to it, we're going to use the in-memory profile. All right, so hopefully this will build. All right, and okay. All is looking well. Okay, so it built successfully. We can see that our app is running locally, and it's set up with the in-memory data source, and it's running on port 8080. So if we go to localhost 8080, there we go. This is our app. And if we curl with the /albums endpoint, then, I'm gonna zoom out of this a little bit. We can see our JSON of this database, which contains a whole bunch of albums. And if we add an ID to the URL, we will see a specific album. Some other endpoints that we've included are profiles, which will tell you which profiles are being used, in this case in memory, as we specified, and also what services are bound to this app, which should be none because it has yet to be pushed and is unbound to any data sources. Additionally, we have a kill endpoint, which is just going to kill the app. So if we curl this, site can no longer be reached. Awesome. So now we're going to push this to Cloud Foundry. So we are already logged in, and we need to see what we're targeting. All right, so we are in the org RM demo and in the space RM app, which I've created prior to this presentation, which is perfect. So we're just gonna simply CF push demo backend. All right, so while this is going, I have already pushed a sample of this app to Cloud Foundry to save time. So if we go here, we'll see that the app is running, and we have all of the information that we could see before. Awesome. So now that we have it running on Cloud Foundry, we're going to want to set up a data source. We're going to want to set up a database so that we can use, let's say, MySQL. So because terminal is going and the app is currently pushing, we're going to just use PWS for our GUI to go to the marketplace, find ClearDB MySQL database, which will allow us to bind a MySQL database to this app. We can put in an instance name, say albums, demo, put it in the RM app space, and then because our app isn't pushed yet successfully, we can't actually bind it to an app, but theoretically speaking, you would press the app name, add, and your database would be bound. So, like I said, I already have a sample going just to prevent delays. So here is my sample. And if you go to the services bound to the app, there's this button called View Credentials. So these are the credentials of the app. If you wanted to use this data source locally, you would have to use these credentials to access it. But using Sprig Cloud Connector is what will allow you to not have to use these credentials and keep this information safe in the repo. Awesome. So now if we go back to our app with the service bound to it, if we check out the profiles, you'll see that it's running with MySQL Cloud profiles. And if we check the services, we'll see that it is bound to this service, which is our ClearDB MySQL database. And one of the fun features of Cloud Foundry is if you kill an app, it will resurrect in a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and kill this. So it's no longer accessible. And while we push the front end, we're going to wait for this to come back to life, and hopefully it will. In the meantime, all right.
Okay. So for the front end, we're going to do something similar to the back end, which is we would want to clone the backend repository. And so first we're going to move to the right file path. So cd documents, cd. And so normally you would want to clone the project here with the link, but since that takes too much time for the purpose of the demo, we're just gonna go with a pre-cloned version. And so in our React Music.js, that just contains all our project files. And so if we wanted to, and to set up, you would want to include some uninstalled modules that you might have to install, which you can find in our GitHub, and also inside the project. Here. Oh. And so, as you can see in the README as well, we'll have these files that you have to locate and change the URL for them to your backend API URL. So whatever URL you deployed for your backend, that's what you want to replace these variables with inside the code. And so to start off the program locally, you can simply do a yarn start, and yarn is just the package manager. And so it's starting off locally. You'll see it shortly. Okay. One second.
So as we can see, our app has resurrected. So Cloud Foundry did do its job, which is awesome.
And it does have the album. So, oh, there we go. Just took one more refresh. And so this is what it looks like locally if we expand this. It just has a list of albums, but I'll show more of the features in the Cloud Foundry version. So if you wanted to push this app, front-end app, to Cloud Foundry, you can target the right space. If I stop this, as long as you're targeting the right space, so CF target, and that's the space we want, you can just do a CF push React Music.js, which is the app name. And we're not going to push it now just for time's sake, but we have pre-pushed one for the demo, which we'll show you right now. So it's here. If you refresh this. This is currently running on the cloud, and so some of the features of our app include a delete album method, which, so if I were to click delete here, it deleted it from the album list. And you can also add an album. Let's just do example album title, Hello, Artist Me, year 2017, and genre pop. And so if I add that, you'll see that it adds itself. Let's try deleting some more. Oh, there we go. So you'll see it added itself down here, Hello, Me, 2017 pop. And you can also edit albums. For example, if you want to change the artist to Tom, you could do that, and it will show up as an edited version. And we also have here an icon which shows you the current profiles and services active, which include MySQL Cloud and MySQL Albums DB, because that's what Sandra just set up for us.
Okay. Awesome. So we hope you check out React Music on GitHub and try deploying it for yourself. and find all the fun features that Cloud Foundry supports. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now.